What is up, y'all? Been a while since I popped on a solo YouTube video like this, but today I want to chat with you guys about some of the lessons that I learned very quickly with, a traditional cash-based practice and why selling sessions was keeping me capped. If you see me looking down here, I've got some notes because I've got some math that we're going to go over because I just want you guys to know that the ceiling really exists and why it exists. So when I started my cash-based practice, I thought that was going to solve all of my problems. I thought, charging $90 a session I thought that was like crazy money, right? One of the biggest lessons that I learned was I was still kind of pricing myself like an employee. I was still pricing myself at an hourly rate. And so as I kind of got into business, I started to notice these things happen month over month and really started to look at the business model and think like, is this the way that I want to build my practice? So the first thing that drove me absolutely crazy when I was reliant on sessions, when I was just operating like a traditional cash-based clinic, selling sessions, was that every month started at zero. Like I knew that was going to be a really hard business to build if every single month started at zero. So even, some of you watching, you might be saying, well, but I sell packages and I break those packages up into 2-3 payments. Well, yeah, sure, that buys you 2-3 months of runway, but you have no real monthly recurring revenue. You have no subscriptions in place. Maybe you want to call them memberships. You have nothing in place that allows you to go beyond your initial plan of care and actually create a predictable base of revenue beyond what I call like a multi-pay subscription plan, right? Like your packages are a multi-pay plan. They're not really recurring revenue. Recurring revenue just kind of goes on forever. So we have revenue that exhausts, and then we need to resell that client into a secondary offer. And I just didn't really like that. So when I implemented the prescriptive exercise program in my practice, I started recurring revenue at visit number one. So they came in, sold them X number of sessions in a package, and then also sold them what I call a prescriptive exercise program. And that creates a layered revenue system in the business. So we have this rocket fuel of, package revenue, and then we have this gas in the tank of recurring prescriptive exercise program. Like this is your remote offer, this is your virtual offer, whatever you want to call it. The key point here is that this is asynchronous. There's not a tie to time. So really important that if you want to put business on easy mode, you figure out how to get away from starting each month at zero and how to create some recurring revenue within the business. The second, and this one might be super obvious, but like if you only sell sessions, your earning is capped. You have a finite number of hours that you have energy to serve, right? For most people working one-on-one, I've found that that's about 25 hours is the sweet spot. Call me crazy, but like I would rather see a traditional insurance caseload with a tech, 40 hours, 20 patients a day, than 8 to 10 one-on-one clients. Like that's just me. Because I think that the energy that you need to deliver really good one-on-one care, I don't know that 8 hours a day, you've got it in you. If you do, you're a much better person than me, but that was just kind of what I've seen. So the sweet spot that we see with our clients is about 25 direct patient contact hours per week, right? So really easily, we can calculate what your ceiling would be, how much revenue you can take in as a solo clinician. If let's say you do 108 sessions, right? That would be 25 sessions a week. There's 4.3 weeks in a month. There's not just four. And let's say that you're charging $150 a session. Your income is going to be capped at $16,200. That's it, right? 190 grand or so. Now you might be thinking that's way better than what I'm making as a traditional outpatient orthopedic physical therapist, but the issue is your income is still capped, and we want to remove that ceiling. Now let's say you go up to $200 a session. You're at $21,600. Better, still capped. $250 a session, $27,000, still capped. I don't know about you guys, but one of the reasons, like literally one of the reasons why I ventured into entrepreneurship was so that I could remove the cap. I could remove the ceiling. So why would I pick a business model that literally self-imposes a cap for me? That makes absolutely no sense. So again, the way that I combated this in my practice was I added an offer, prescriptive exercise program, virtual offer, asynchronously delivered, was not tied to time, and that allowed me to have something that was scalable. So I really like businesses. My business is set up like this. I really like businesses that have something that is not super scalable, but very high value. That's your one-on-one offer. And then something that is scalable that maintains high value. So that is your asynchronous offer. So like in my world, we have clients that I work with one-on-one, and then we have clients that I work with at the community level, right? So it allows me to have X number of one-on-one clients paying a premium, but then it allows me to build a base of a scalable business. And this is the same exact thing with the blended practice model. You have finite number of one-on-one space, so you sell your time at a premium, and then you have this base offer that you can charge 400. We have clients charging $500 a month for virtual offers, and you can scale that, right? Because it's not a direct trade for time. You can manage a roster of 30, 40, 50 clients, and you can do that in a fraction of the time to increase your effective hourly rate. This is key, right? The other issue when you're just selling sessions and everything's capped is you are stuck in constant acquisition mode because your clients don't stay forever. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of existing cash practices make is they have a quote unquote continuity offer, but it's just a session at a lower rate at a subscription. So like, let's say their price point is $200 a session. They'll sell them into $179 a month. You come in once a month. We do this maintenance stuff, but then their schedule gets clogged with $179 per month clients. And now their effective hourly rate has gone down. We want processes in our business where our effective hourly rate goes up. You cannot do that with direct trade for time offers. You just can't do that. It's impossible unless you're going to bring in 2 clients at once, scale with the tech, like traditional insurance clinics do, right? This is how they make their margins. So we have to figure out, how do I scale by process? Again, that is the prescriptive exercise program, the virtual offer, the asynchronous offer within the blended practice model. There's still really no scale in a session-based business besides 2 variables. You either see more volume or you raise your price, right? And obviously, like we just talked about, there's only so much volume that you can see. And then there's probably going to get up to a point where you hit a price cap where you're like, okay, like I don't know if I can go up anymore from here. And do I want to keep doing the same thing 25 hours per week over and over and over again and never get any of that time back? Because you still have to invest some time into building the business, into marketing, into relationships, things like that to keep that machine running, right? So now this is my favorite one. Everybody says, well, the answer is so easy, guys. You just hire people and you scale yourself out of the business. Well, sure, that's the first order problem, is if I hire somebody, then I don't have to do it. But the second order problem is now I have to manage people. Now I have to worry about volume for somebody else. Now I have to worry about, 30 to sometimes 50% of my margin being cut away. And so I become even more reliant on volume. Guys, the reason why you left the traditional clinic was because you were tired of the reliance on volume. So why put yourself in a situation that you have to do that over and over and over again, right? I'll do another video that talks about, like, because I do have a small team, but I'll talk about how I hire my team. What are the things that I look for? What are the ways that I do it where it doesn't really affect margins and it doesn't really affect, like, I don't want somebody where I have to be fully reliant on their income is on my business, right? Because that is just a stressful thing for me. And that's not the life that I want to live. So margins get crushed. You're responsible for management. You're responsible for volume. So let me tell you guys, if you want the best of both worlds. If you are the clinician out there that is like, look, I still want to treat, I don't want to be capped, I don't want to rely on volume, I don't want to have to, consistently raise my prices over and over and over again. I want to find the sweet spot and stay there. I eventually want to get my time back. This is literally what the blended practice model does. Like this, if you are out there selling sessions or thinking of selling sessions, everybody's telling you scale with people, scale with price. We are here to tell you you can scale with process, right? You need a different model. You need a model that is evolved. Consumers of physical therapy these days, consumers of physical therapy, fitness, rehab, whatever it is, they are so much more tech savvy than they were 10, 15 years ago. If you don't have some sort of asynchronous virtual offer within your business, I personally think you're already behind. So now you know why selling sessions is keeping you capped. And if this is something that resonates with you, drop below. There's another training that I want you to watch that literally goes over our entire model. Reach out, DM me on Instagram at Ray Gorman DPT if you have any questions. I love going back and forth via voice memo. If anything in here needs clarification, please hit me up. And time to evolve the model, y'all. So hopefully this was helpful. I'll catch you guys on the next video I do. Take care.